to infinity and beyond.
What's up, everybody? It's Roger and James here from Gaming's Infinity and Beyond podcast. On this episode, we are going to be talking about all that Marvel Vs Capcom Infinite news that came out of San Diego Comic-Con, where 4 new characters were revealed as a brand new trailer, showing off lots of new gameplay. There was also a panel at the event. Unfortunately, that one there doesn't seem to have kind of come out. There was some new gameplay footage for a number of different outlets, such as IGN, showing off some new characters. So let's just read through some of the characters. Obviously, Spider-Man was the big one. That was the big Marvel announcement really for that one. Hardly a big surprise. Spider-Man being in the game is not a huge one. We've also got Dead Rising's Frank West, Resident Evil 3's Nemesis, and Final Fight's Hagar. The game's coming out on the 19th of September. They also showed some footage of Gamora and Thanos as well that they'd been previously revealed. And then we had a brand new trailer, which looks great. She continues to build on this roster. Definitely felt like they were filling out the Capcom side a little bit with this one. Almost felt like Spider-Man was big enough on its own.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Spider-Man's a huge name, but it is kind of weird that they would go to San Diego Comic-Con and only announce 1 comic book character and 3 Capcom characters, and that's on top of, the characters we learned about last week. So,
yeah, but in some ways it kind of it felt like it jumped off the back of the reveal of Gamora and Jada or Jada, however you want to pronounce it, from Evolution, where sort of showing off Gamora kind of made a little bit more sense. But also just seeing Thanos in action, he looks pretty cool.
He does. I mean, you have to do that with Thanos. If he doesn't look cool, then he doesn't look evil. He doesn't look badass. So go ahead. Go.
It was definitely kind of that thing of a cool new trailer. Again, it annoys me a little bit with this San Diego stuff of them on social media, and the same thing went for Lego, is when they're hyping up their panels and they're talking about them and showing off art, and everyone's like, and then it's like, oh yeah, but we're not going to show you any of it, or we're not even going to reveal any of it. It was a little bit annoying when it's like, if you're going to go to all that bother of hyping it on social media, you're kind of leading that way of telling people, oh, there's stuff, we're going to be telling you stuff. If you don't know, if a company doesn't deliver that, and just, okay, they did at least get the trailer out, unlike the Lego one, over the weekend, so that was cool. But you do kind of sometimes feel like, if you're not going to tell us what's happening at that, or show us what's at the event, maybe best not promote it as much as they are.
Right. And it's also one of those weird things where, at least in my experience, most people who are at the conventions aren't really on social media. They might be on their own. They might be taking the Instagram selfies. Yeah. They might be posting, hey, I'm going to blankety blank panel. Yeah. But they're not following the convention social media. You're already there. You don't need to follow social media. So the people following the social media are those of us who are still at home. And it's just kind of like a little knife twist going, hey, we're going to announce cool stuff, but you don't get to hear about it.
Yeah, I mean, Marvel they have they have their booth that they are pretty much live streaming for most of the day. But during the event, they did bring on, the guys from Marvel Games on a number of different occasions, showing off what they were doing. And it's like, okay, that's cool, but trying to find it on an 8-hour stream's bit is like jumping around a little bit. So Marvel on one hand is good at that they were live streaming from it, but I felt a little bit like, going on, putting out all these announcements, Greg Miller coming in, and then we're going to do this big announcement, all these panels. But if you're not going to show it to everyone, it kind of gets a little bit lost in the shuffle because, people at home can't follow it, but you've been hyping it. It's just a bit of an annoyance that's like, I suppose now with the thing with live streaming stuff, you kind of, one time they do it and the next time they don't, it gets a little bit awkward.
And then, like at D23, they only streamed the Level Up panel, the video game panel. You had to be there for the animation panel, for the live action panel, for the Parks and Resorts panel.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if there was a certain amount of consistency. I wouldn't even care if they recorded it and then posted it up a couple hours later, so at least the convention goers could be like, we saw it first, we got it exclusive, anyone who was there could still report on it before the official information comes out. But everyone at home could still be like, oh, cool, I got to see some of the stuff, and they could blank out things. I know they saw an Avengers Infinity War trailer.
Yeah, which I'm not looking for.
Huh?
I am trying to avoid that trailer at the moment. That's
I am
early.
also.
Yeah.
I want to see when they officially release it. I did see that it was leaked, but I don't want to see a
No.
annoying
No,
cell phone version of it.
I
Yeah,
want to see it in 4K on the big screen.
yeah, exactly. But they could still blank those things out of the official presentation if they want to make things unique to the con goers, just to make you feel like you're getting something for your money. But you could still get the announcements.
Yeah. It's definitely, we're in this odd stage of, they hype up these events because they use them. They are now key milestones before a game is now released. We go to all these events. We go to E3, we do this, we do that. We have the booth there. We have a new trailer to drop. We have this. We pop on all these other shows and show it off. Personally, it was like between Marvel Games booth and IGN was where we kind of found out most of this information after, rather than the panels weren't really, So it's an odd one. It's such a shame because they are doing a great job of promoting these games, but it's that little last minute, hyping up. We're going to be doing this panel and this one, and then all you see on all the comments is, "Where's it live stream? Where's it live stream? Is it live stream?" Because it's not just we obviously I'm interested from the point of the website and the podcast, but there's a lot of people that want to sit at home and watch this stuff because they're seeing it and they're excited about it.
Yeah, and it's that balancing act that the conventions have to do. You need to make it special for the people who are going there, for people who are paying money to be there. But you don't want to alienate the rest of the audience because the people who are at the convention are a fraction of the number of people that you want to reach with this information. So
yeah, I mean, them releasing the new Thor Ragnarok trailer, the main thing is for the San Diego people, but the main reason is to get everyone at home excited over the weekend. That's what the buzz really comes from, is what they get out there. It's just, there's a little bit of noise, but I'm really glad that Capcom at least got that trailer out, literally the early, I think it's Friday or Saturday, they got that trailer out, and there was plenty of gameplay footage coming out from other things, which is what they need. I mean, this game does feel like it needs, it's an odd situation that demo seems to have did more damage than good. It's a bit of an odd one. It's sort of seems to it's not quite hitting the mark with some people. I can't quite put every time I hear it on different podcasts. But at the same time, the fighting genre is a very different one. It works very differently. I was only watching Games Daily, and they were talking about how Tekken 7 was the #1 game in June, and everyone at a lot of the major media had sort of written that game off because they didn't think it was relevant, but there was a massive audience for it. Say Injustice 2 has there is a big love of fighting games. Pokex coming out in September, and now Marvel vs. Capcom. There was a lot of big fighting games this year.
Yeah, and Capcom really does have to make sure that they prove why Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is worth your money, especially when they're cutting the roster size down, when there's no X-Men or Magneto, because obviously no one's ever heard of the X-Men.
No.
And you got to deal with Injustice and Tekken. Tekken was a great game. Injustice 2, of course, not to segue too much, they released the Starfire trailer, and I'm super psyched for that because she's always been one of my favorite DC characters. And I'm looking at this going, the same thing that I've been saying month in, month out, which is cool, Frank West and Nemesis, and hey, I don't care. Give me more Marvel characters. So I'm glad to see the Spider-Man's in, but that was also kind of one of the ones where, of course, Spider-Man's going to be in it.
Yeah. I did find now that Game in the UK have got the special edition available, and I looked on it, and it's if you want the deluxe edition with the season pass and all this, it's £185. I'm
good. I think
it's
I'm good.
It's the figures look really cool, and there's these stones, and you get the steel case book with the, and I'm ooh. I really would like those figures because obviously Mega Man and Chun-Li as well. There's at least they are characters that I know from Capcom, and I've played those games, and I am I've been a Mega Man and Street Fighter fan, so therefore that's fine. I'm quite happy with those characters. But I was going, that's a big expense. But
it's a very big.
Yeah. So I haven't quite pulled the trigger yet, but there might be if it does appear there, we will know why.
See, I strongly suspect, there's a lot of very hardcore Capcom fans out there, but I strongly suspect that if you want to get the Mega Man and Chun-Li figures, a lot of those will be popping up on eBay, whereas for a decent price, whereas Captain Marvel and was Iron Man the other one?
Yeah.
They might be a little bit harder to come by, because I suspect there's a lot of people who are going to buy this for those two figures and then be like, oh, Mega Man, cool. Let me see how much I can get for this and maybe offset some of the cost.
Yeah, definitely looks interesting. I haven't quite pulled the trigger on it yet, but it's a little bit like, that's like a proper, it's like, I'm looking at it going, that's a proper collector's set. It's like, that's, I have got this massive, great big beast thing from Disney Infinity in the loft, which but it's never come out. But this one at least looks like, these look like cool little figures and stuff. So whether or not we do it, but let us know what you guys thought of the reveals from the San Diego Comic-Con for Marvel vs. Capcom. Personally, the DC side was Haggard's pretty cool. I mean, I do remember playing Final Fight. He's kind of like big. The other two, I'll be honest, I haven't played a Resident Evil game since the PlayStation 2. It's not my type of game, and I have no idea about Dead Rising. So it was a little bit like, okay, I've got two characters, I've got no clue.
I have played the Dead Rising games, at least the first one, and then they released like 2 free mini games to promote. I guess it was maybe 2 at the time. So at least know who Frank West is, and those were fun games. Dead Rising.
He just looked like Michael from Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, the scene now character I know nothing about. So
have you never played Grand Theft Auto 5?
No.
I'm going to be honest. That was a very, very good game.
I'm sure it was, and I'll probably see it eventually. However, Rockstar seems to not like putting things on proper sale. They'll put it on sale, but then they'll also have put shark dollars in with it, so it's still the same price as it normally is.
I think the general reason for that, it was in the top. It's been in the top 10 games since it came out. It's over 3-4 years. It's like, they just don't need to. So they're almost in that Nintendo zone. But there we go. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite at San Diego Comic-Con. Let us know what you guys think. Remember, you can also check out our giveaway over at DisKingdom.com/giveaway, where we're giving away the season pass for Guardians of the Galaxy Telltale game. You can also hit that subscribe button. You can also find us on the audio platforms there where you can subscribe, and if you feel happy to leave us a review, that would be very grateful. Also, you can check us out over on the website. James, where can they find you?
Find me heroiclegacy.com.
And on that note, guys, thank you very much for watching. Later.